All right, so we're going to go over a progression of a hip abduction strengthening exercise along with the good lateral core. So I go through with most of my clients a test for that lateral core strength for just a standard side plank. It's a really good way to test and get a good objective measure, but it's not necessarily the thing that I tell people to stick with forever. I try to have people get beyond the normal just side plank position because, in a way, we want our core muscles to work and stabilize our hips like they would on the bike. So this progression is really nice, and I'll show you both the easy way to do it and then the slightly harder way to do it. So we'll still be in the side plank position, and so the standard side plank position is the feet stacked, elbow right underneath your shoulder, and then you're just lifting your hips up from here, and then you're just maintaining that position. I usually tell people do it as maximally as long as they can. But again, once you kind of get past that, maybe I would say like 45 seconds is a pretty good minimum. Then I would say let's try and continue to add that extra piece of body movement and stability with the side plank. So the easy one would be starting with your knees stacked. Have your knee, hip, and shoulder in pretty good straight alignment best you can. So for most people, that's going to be push your hips forward as you come up onto your knees. And then this is where we get a little bit fancy. We add the leg lifting piece to it. So we're getting that top hip working, that bottom hip is working really hard, especially if you're doing a good job of keeping your hips thrusted forwards. Trying to avoid a lot of that chest flare if you bring your hips forwards, because we want to maintain that core piece as well. So if you flare your chest, then you're just getting a lot of that from your low back, and we're losing that front core and that lateral core stability. That's the easy progression. And then the other piece to it will be the same thing. Basically now the ankle, knee, hip, and shoulder, trying to be in alignment. Again, maintaining that position and then adding that lateral leg lift. So now we're getting a long lever for that hip to be doing the job. So again, this would be step one, working on that piece, leg lifts. And then step two, as you get better with it, straight legs, straight position from ankle, knee, hip to shoulder, and adding the leg lift. Okay, so those are really good, challenging progressions to the side plank. Really good for cyclists to get into eventually. I think most of my clients can at least do the knees bent version, and that's a really good one just to continue to progress that lateral core and lateral hip strength that most cyclists have a really hard time with. So give that a shot.